Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Hallie and I'm going to be talking with you guys today about how to plan a classy Vegas wedding. My husband and I, we did not elope in Vegas. This was a planned wedding. We had been together for several years and we just needed a place that we could go where both of our families would be okay with it. I'm sure there were members on each side that were not happy about the smoking, the gambling, and just the chaos of it all. But my family's from the West Coast and my husband's family's from all of the East Coast, and we needed a place in the middle for people to meet and where everybody had to travel to so no one was advantaged more than the other. And Vegas seemed like the perfect place. Granted, it is the mega shopping mall, Disney World for adults of the world. But I've been there several times. My husband had actually never been there, but he loves gambling, so I knew he would love it. But it was perfect. We had about a 4-day stay for our wedding, and we had come from a road trip, so we kind of drove in with our dogs and our car packed. And I'll talk about that another time. And it was perfect. But I'll kind of give you guys the basics and the outline of how we planned this, and I can go into the actual story of it later. But there were many factors that I think made it as successful as it was, and I will discuss those with you today. Our goals for our wedding were we wanted great music, live music, we wanted great food, and we wanted everyone to have a good time while keeping it pretty small. Our original goal was to have about 50 people invited, but we both have really large families on both sides, and so that was pretty unrealistic, and our end goal, we ended up with about 100 people coming. And this was really a blast. We had the perfect amount of people. So many people traveled from all over the country, and it was really just a great experience. We booked a live band through our point of contact at the reception location, and this made it so much easier. You paid a little bit extra for them to facilitate it, but in Vegas, one of the things that's so much easier about planning weddings is because so many people get married there, every location that you book pretty much comes with a point of contact or an event planner. So you only have to deal with these people to handle your entire event at the location. That's vendors, that's food, that's everything. And that made it so much easier when planning this. I and myself and my husband, and with a little bit of help from our family, planned pretty much the entire event in less than 2 to 3 months. I'd say it really took a bulk of a month, and it was mostly phone calls, phone tag, back and forth. But it was much easier than I anticipated, and I didn't deal with the nightmare of wedding planning that many people experience. And I think it was because, for one, that we're pretty low-key people, two, that we just like to get to the point, solve the problem, and then it was pretty easy for us when we had all the wedding planners and our location in Vegas. So what did we want out of our wedding? We wanted a ceremony at a chapel, or like one of the Vegas chapels, but not too cliche Vegas. No pink Cadillacs, no Elvis. I wanted some nice flowers. That was one of my requirements, I guess. But we wanted to come in, we wanted most people in the same hotel, because if you've ever been to Vegas, you know that it's pretty spread out when you actually get there and try to walk. So we wanted everybody in the same general vicinity, so we knew a hotel block was going to be necessary. And so we got that pretty early on, but we wanted the hotel block with everybody at the wedding. We wanted the chapel ceremony. We wanted a reception after that ceremony, and we wanted some sort of what normally people would do the rehearsal dinner, but we wanted to do some sort of like celebration after that was a brunch the next day. Bad planning on our part because everybody had a wild night the night before and was a bit hungover, but it was really fun. So we wanted these main components. We wanted multiple celebration points. I wanted to get my hair done and my makeup done all at the same place, preferably a salon on the day of the wedding. For our block, my husband actually ended up facilitating this by calling. A lot of the hotels are owned by the same management agencies. They're owned by these kind of mega corporations in Vegas. So when you call for one block, you can actually get it at several hotels depending on where you want to stay. We knew we wanted to stay on the North Strip, and we ended up getting our hotel block that called us back first from Treasure Island. And so this was perfect. My husband and I were actually staying at the Mirage, which is right next door. So this was perfect because we were able to take the shuttle that went back and forth between the two and easily go see our guests, easily greet people when they arrived. There were great casinos in both locations, great restaurants. It was kind of a good hub to start out on. After the first 2 days, for the wedding day and the day after, my husband and I actually went and kind of got a suite at the Bellagio, which is a little bit further south on the strip, which was kind of perfect because we wanted something that was a little bit away from our guests after the wedding so we could have a little bit of time to ourselves and enjoy the other hotels and the amenities they have to offer. Decorations. This is normally a really major part of most weddings, but because we were all traveling there, did not really have a way to get decorations there unless we purchased them there and then kind of set it up ourselves. And because of how much was going on and where everybody was running to and from, it didn't seem logical, and it also didn't seem like a practical expense to have on the wedding. I would much rather have spent that money elsewhere on the live band or better food. And so we ended up picking our location for our reception based on this idea of decorations. We wanted the place to be decorated with its own themes, and we wanted to utilize that theme kind of for our reception. So we ended up picking the restaurant called the Barrymore, and it's kind of like an old school Vegas resort. It's kind of like 20s to 70s vibes. They have really cool decorations on the ceilings of like movie reels and great statues, and the tables are decorated and set, and everything really was pretty nice looking without us having to do anything. They really took care of everything. I love that I picked this location. We spent the bulk of our money on the reception because we wanted this to be the big celebration. And once again, the planner at the event, she handled the music, she handled all the guest counts, everything. She greeted us, she was there, she was amazing. I really could not have asked for a better experience. And we did a walk through the day before to kind of become familiar with where we were going to come in. There were several different locations within the restaurant area that were seating. We had 2 dining rooms, a dance floor in the bar, and then we had like a patio area with heaters because it was January. So that really was a wonderful experience as far as having the amount of space we did, where people could go in each room to kind of either get away from the music, have their own space, or be in the action. And we held the meal at the first part. We all did like a cocktail hour as everybody arrived, held the meal, and then did the wedding dances and everything afterwards. So it was really great that you could kind of get away if you needed to, but there was also the main space. Big expenditure component is pictures. I am not a big fan of having the traditional photographer at the wedding, but my family was really into having family photos. So we had a family friend who had a nice camera come, and she took family photos of everybody, the traditional kind of wedding photos in the dining room at the reception area when we arrived. We got married at the Chapel of the Flowers, and this place, we had a great location. We did the glass gardens option, and we did a Jewish ceremony. During we're in Vegas, and we were able to find a rabbi that could host our ceremony. He also was a mortician in the area, just a fun fact, double duty. It was a great experience overall. We didn't do a run through before, we just kind of show up and like hit the ground running, which I prefer, and it was really a beautiful ceremony. It was quite romantic considering I kind of thought it'd be more casual, but it was actually pretty formal. They picked us up in the limo at the hotel. My husband and I rode, just the 2 of us there, and it was kind of a beautiful experience to share. And then we showed up and did the entire ceremony, and they do the photos for you, and then you can buy the photos at the end. And initially we're like, there's no way these are going to be great photos, like we're not even going to think about it. But we came the next day to look at our photos, and we were amazed at how wonderful they were, and we ended up purchasing them all, plus the rights and everything, which was a little pricey, but we did win out on our gambling, so it helped. But this was super surprising to me. I didn't think that the photography would be as great as it was, but it helped us. We had some really great photos from our wedding. And during our reception, like I mentioned, we had the friend take photos for us. We also did film cameras. This is something I personally really wanted to do. just as kind of a nostalgic thing. I love film cameras and the little disposables. They're a little bit harder to find and definitely more expensive to get developed, but I really think this was worth it. We had 10 cameras, 9 were found at the end of the wedding, so there's one that went pretty rogue. But we took all 9 of the cameras and I got them developed at a later date, and most of the photos were total crap, but about 60 to 80 of them were gold. These photos were just so genuine and candid, and these were the pictures that I was looking for. It was kind of hard because the restaurant was pretty dark and people couldn't remember to turn the flash on, but at the end of the reception, all of the waiters went around and were taking pictures with the cameras to use all the photos up, and those actually turned out to be some of the best photos we have of the wedding. And these were one of my favorite things about our wedding, was just having these memories that I didn't even think I cared about, but now we have in like a beautiful book. And I used my Polaroid camera throughout the weekend to capture some other memories and put those in the book as well. And it really turned out to be a blast. We did the bachelor and bachelorette parties the night before the wedding. Granted, I was pregnant, so I was not partying too hard, but everybody had a great time. We went to some wonderful restaurants while we were there, and I actually really like Vegas. Even if you're not partying super hard, it's still really fun. They have great food, and there's a great time to be had everywhere. So I would recommend it for many people. We did it classy, we did it semi-formal, and it turned out really amazing, and it was super easy to plan. I will be making a few other videos, maybe about the story of the wedding and stuff, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching, and this is my channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.